Loan amortization schedule using Microsoft Excel. Let's say that you're going to get some home loan for you're getting a rate of 3%, interest rate 3% yearly, and then the monthly interest would be then usually they are monthly compounded, so it's going to be divided by 12. And then say for example you are getting a 30-year loan. So if we say 30-year loan, let me format paint that like, let's see, percentage, let's do a couple of more. All right, so that is monthly interest. And then loan term, say for example 30-year loan term, and then the month wise is going to be then equal to 30 times 12, 36 months. So we're going to show how to develop the amortization schedule. First is we'll create that 36 months, 360 months first. So you're going to basically scroll down this way. There could be an easier way of doing this. Please let me know if there is an easier way of doing this thing, creating that long list of numbers. So first, say for example you can make a payment of $700, assuming that you have, this is only the loan term loan payment that you're making. Say you have the insurance cost, the maintenance, repair cost, taxes, those are separate from this. This is the amount that you pay per month, the loan you get from the bank. So first calculate the amount that you can get from the bank if you can pay $700 per month. So simply we can use that formula called PV that will calculate the present value of the loan, and it is asking for the rate, so I'm going to use that is the rate, monthly rate, comma, then it is asking for the number of compounding period, which is 360 months. We are making $700 payment. There is no future value. We're going to pay off everything, and then it's going to be end of the period interest compounding. So this is the amount we're going to get. Now this number shows negative. Typically if you make payments, so that's negative, that's money goes out of your pocket, so you're going to make that 700 negative like that. So now this one becomes positive. Now let's I'm gonna create a column called payment. We know that we are making the payment of $700. I'm just going to select that and freeze that. And then the interest for the first month, it will be the amount we owe. This is what we owe in the first month, and the rate. So I'm going to freeze the rate because we'll be using for rest of the months. And then the principal that will be paid off out of this $700 is whatever left from the interest. So this is the interest. We are paying $700. So then rest of it goes to the principal. Now this notation negative is because we are paying off, so I'm going to make it positive. So you'll see why I'm doing it. Minus the interest. So out of that $700, this goes to your interest and this goes to your principal. I'm going to create an extra column here just to make a distinction between this stuff and this. Okay, so now we pay some principal, so we borrow this much and then pay off $284.92 principal out of that. So now we have this much left, and then it's going to be same for the second month. Now for the everything else now is basically be copied down. Oh, something didn't copy right. Okay, did phrase that. So we can simply copy that down as well. So this is our loan amortization schedule. So if we have done everything correctly, this should be there should be 0 at the end. Let me see. Well, I probably have to create one more column row to show you what's going on. Okay, so here is this thing. You see that there is nothing due at 361 months. So everything will be paid off by 360 months. Now, the question might come in so many different ways. For example, a lot of time you want to know how much do I owe after, say, 2 years or 5 years or after 100 months. So you can see here, this is what you owe after 100 months, $133,700, $708.57. And for that particular month, when you make $700 payment, then this goes to your interest, this goes to your principal, like that. So question could come something like that. Question could come something like calculate the total interest. So what you can do, simply just sum of the interest column, that will give you the total interest paid off. So for the 36 months, this is what you pay, about 86,000 total interest. Principal, of course, is going to be only 166 these. So if all calculation done correctly, it is done correctly. We have already checked that. So if you sum this principal column, it's going to be exact same as this value at month 1, at the beginning of month 10. This is what you see here, exact same value. If the question is asked something like, okay, how much interest do you pay for the first year? You simply add the first 12-month interest to do that. Couple of additional questions. Let's say you're going to pay off some lump sum money after 2 years. So let me show you that calculation, how to include that. Let's say you got some money from somewhere, you want to pay off the loan earlier so that you don't pay too much interest. So in year after 2 years, you pay some lump sum, let's say $10,000. So I'm gonna just subtract $10,000 here, and then everything else will get updated, and you will see that the let's see how soon the loan is paid off if we pay $10,000 after 2 years. So here is the calculation. So it's going to be paid off about 30 months before, 31 months before, 360 months, as you can see here, almost 2.5 years earlier you're going to pay off if you pay $10,000 at that time, approximately this much. So then the same question could be asked, how much interest do you pay in this current mortgage situation? So you can just simply add the interest column, that's it. Another question could be something like, say you after 2 years or 3 years you got some additional money, you can pay up something per month. Let's say after 3 years you got a better job or something that makes you pay $200 more per month, and then this goes all the way down, and as you can see, and that changes the calculation. Then you can see how much or how soon you'll be paying off the loan. As you can see, 360, almost 100 months earlier, so that's almost like 8 years earlier that you're going to pay off the loan. If you just pay 200 more starting, I think, I don't know, some year after 2 years or something, I forgot what I did. So is it after 3 years? After 3 years, if you start to pay additional $200 per month, so then the loan's going to be paid off earlier, about almost 100 months earlier, like that. So if you're asked to calculate the total interest, you can simply delete that, those, and then let me show you this quickly, like this, delete that. So this is what you owe. So basically, and then you can just approximately, we don't have to be exact here. So you can see here is calculated there. So this is the approximate amount of interest that you'll be paying, which is significantly less than this value, which was $86,000. And then in this case, you'll be paying about $25,000 less, $24,000 less, With the lump sum payment after 2 years, $10,000, you'll be paying about $13,000 less interest, something like that. So I hope this makes sense of why we need to understand the loan amortization schedule and basically how to answer different types of questions that you might have when you take a loan